Hello, and welcome to CLEA'S World. I am Clea, and today I would like to share with you my latest BQH hypnosis session, where I was able to once again connect with the 25th dimension. I would also like to thank you for subscribing, liking, and commenting on this video. And I will be reading from a transcript. And when I refer to Lorrayne, I'm speaking of the practitioner. And when I refer to me, I'm referring to myself under hypnosis, which means that the answers are coming from a 25th dimension. All right, let's jump in. Lorrayne. So at this point, Lorrayne had just finished the induction. This is the very first part of the session. And so she is asking, do you have any messages for us before we begin asking questions? Because I always have my own list of questions. But in the beginning of each session, the 25th likes to tell us the most compelling message that they have in terms of what we've been thinking about, the energy that's been going on, that kind of thing. So here's what they had to say. They're showing me an image of the planets, different planets, and it represents the entire multiverse. And they're showing me people on these planets. I see them as being very small because they're far away technically. And they're showing me all these people jumping up and down. They're so happy and they're just so excited. And I can feel the excitement and the happiness, the joy because of this new impulse. And I have to tell you, I felt it so vividly that I was getting teary-eyed. It was so incredible when you feel such joy that it's just taking over your entire body. It was very powerful. It was a powerful feeling. It has completely changed, shifted the multiverse, and everyone is feeling it. And they're referring to the impulse, the new impulse. They're also showing me that because there's a question about this coming up, which is, how is this impulse affecting the other 3D planets? And what they showed me is that they're shedding, this is what they said, they're shedding their chains. So every game has been upgraded and everybody is really happy. And things are changing very, very quickly. It's a freedom that we didn't have before. It's a whole new freedom that's been input into a level of freedom that's been input into the matrix. And they also said, we're getting ready to live here because we are all so excited. And now we're ready. We're ready to move on. We really are all eager to get to New Earth. So even this new excitement, we just want to have our own planet. Because this planet we're on doesn't feel like ours anymore. So we just want to have our own planet. We want to start over. Lorrayne, I agree, thank you. I'm excited that the other games have had more freedoms as well. I look forward to experiencing those from my position on New Earth. All right, are you ready for us to start your questions? Me, yes. Lorrayne, thank you. So Claire's first question is, what is the status of the takedown? Do we have a new timeline? Me. So we're getting ready. We're ready. We're emotionally ready. We've done this. The timeline is still hazy, but we're talking about a few months. We're not talking about a very long time. We're talking even about a few weeks, really. So it's not like we're getting ready to leave. We're eager to get to New Earth. So it's been interesting seeing what's happened here the past few weeks, but it's not that interesting. And they were laughing here. I think they can definitely sense what we're going through. They were like, yeah, things are happening, but it's not that interesting that we would actually want to delay going to New York that long. We know in the great scheme of things, we don't want to wait that long. So we're getting ready. Lorrayne. Fantastic. Okay, is there anything we must see in 3D before we go in order for us to decide it's okay to go, that we've had enough? Me. Yeah, this thing needs to be recalled. So they call it the thing recall. Lorrayne, okay, if we have stayed behind to get fun info, we're not getting much at all. We've gotten some. It's just as boring as usual, however. And the 25th was laughing here because they understand. The Georgia Guidestones and resignations are not that fun, and Q gets old very quickly. In other words, we need something more in order to want to stay. Me. Yeah, it's all we're waiting for. The rest is like distraction, like a little bit of entertainment here and there. We're really just waiting for this thing recall. which should have happened before the original timeline. But because of and this is me asking myself, why did this not happen before the original? That's actually a question. Why did it not happen before the original timeline if that's what we're waiting for? Yeah, it just didn't happen. Somehow we didn't have time to, and again, time, quote unquote here, but time to make it happen because things were shifting. And so that's what we want to say. We decided we do want to see that no matter what, even though it's a little bit past, not even the 11th hour, the 12th hour, really. So yeah, we just didn't. Somehow it just didn't happen before. And so we still want to see it. That's the thing. Lorrayne, okay, are we delaying going to New Earth because of delayed gratification or some fear of what the future may hold because the devil you know is preferable to the devil you don't know? And again, guys, these are my questions. So I'm always very matter of fact with the 25th. I don't normally beat around the bush and I just ask them stuff directly. And sometimes I come across, I'm sure, as a little bit rough with them, but this is just my style. I am a very direct person and I want to know what's going on. So I'm like, is there something that we need to know? Maybe we don't want to go. And so this is the 25th. They were laughing and they said, no, we are super, super excited to go to New Earth. We really can't, we're jumping at the bits. We can't even wait. However, we know that as boring as this is, it would be good to see this recall. It would be like, okay, so that's done. So it is in a way a sense of closure. I know that many think it's not worth waiting for this because at the end of the day, we're not really getting real closure, as in we're seeing exposure of things, etc., which we already talked about, the fact we really don't want to see that. So while we might have moments when we're despondent and we say, oh, I would like to see this person and that person be publicly denounced and go to jail or whatever the case might be, the truth is that we really don't want to. And the reason we don't want to is because these are our brothers and sisters. No matter what they have done on this planet, we really feel horrible for them. And that's the truth of it. Especially as people of the light, we do feel horrible for them because they have gotten in many ways the short end of the stick. And we just don't want any more. We don't want any more pain. We don't want any more pain for anybody. Of course, we wanted them to stop what they were doing because that was definitely causing pain. Some of it is still causing pain now, but we don't want to add to that because at the end of the day, it's all like one pot. Doesn't matter who creates the pain, whether we might think, oh, but it's justified because they deserve it. It is still pain. We just don't want any more pain. There's been so much pain on this planet. We just want to stop everything and just move on. And so that's why we're waiting for this one thing, which is going to make us feel like, okay, well, it's done now. And it was what it was. And it could have been better, but also we know that if we had stayed here, it would have been better. So we will all feel better about the fact that even the dark basically moved to a position here where they were much more in check and there would have been more balance, but much more balance. There would have always been polarity. We know this. The goal is not to move to an imbalance of light. The goal is always to be in balance, but in balance in a way that allows us to explore everything about ourselves without being so afraid of exploring our dark side. Because the example that we have of the dark is so dark here. We are so afraid of looking at our own, what we would call here our negative, our shadow beliefs and emotions. Because every time we think of what it means, what negative means, what we're capable of as a species, we think of these horrible things that have taken place here. And while it is true that we're all supported this, it doesn't mean that you have to stay away from everything that is less than comfortable and that is less than light. This has, and we've said this many times, this is the reason we got into this point, because we're afraid that the word dark already has such a negative connotation. So we're afraid that who knows what Pandora's box I'm going to open here if I just allow myself maybe to be, to act differently from how I normally act for a week because I want to explore that. Who knows what people are thinking that should you allow yourself to not be in check all the time, to not be self-controlled all the time, all of a sudden maybe you're going to go on a killing spree. Who knows? We don't realize how much resistance we put up to the dark side of us. Now, keep in mind, there's actually a question coming up in relation to this that we'll get to later. Specifically, is that we are in a state of darkness at all times. Light is something that was created within the matrix. So imagine how far we've come that we think of dark as being this awful, ugly, despicable thing. This has been a disaster. It's been a great, great learning opportunity, but it has been a disaster. We have moved so far away from our true nature that we've become afraid of something that is as natural to us as when I say here, as the sun. Darkness is our natural state, not state of who we are, but state as in it's what we're used to. It's what is around us, where we are at all times. And now we think of dark. This is a problem also with words, right? We have said before, for example, when we speak about low vibrational energy, people here immediately associate low vibration with negative. But that's not the case. Low just means low. It means slow. It means low as in opposed to high. And that's all it means. And you need low vibration, just like you need high vibration. But somehow we become so afraid, and this fear really has colored our entire experience on this planet. Now, while it is fun for a little while to forget our infinite nature, it is not fun to live in fear. It is not fun. It might be fun for a minute to pretend that you're afraid of something, even though you're causing whatever it is that you're afraid of. It might be fun for a minute, but it's not fun to live incarnation after incarnation after incarnation and set up an entire reality around fear. There was no need for this. This has almost been like a spin-off, like an unexpected result of our decision, collective decision, to take the game in this direction, where we are so unwilling to look at our darkness. Lorrayne, thank you. Clearly, none of us from the light or the dark or the middle are having any fun here, and fear is the thing that's holding us back. So if none of us are having any fun, why is there still 10% of the dark staying? They're not having fun. We're not having fun. We're only around to finally see the light have the upper hand. I don't know that we will ever see what in this game. I'm sorry. I don't know that we will ever see that in this game. So why is the dark staying here? Are they wanting to expiate some sort of guilt? Me. Yeah, so in answer to your question, when you say, I don't know that we'll ever see the light have the upper hand, the light has the upper hand right now. You're not going to see it as much at a 3D level, just because the systems have been so screwed up. In fact, the systems, it's not even that they've been screwed up, they've been set up by the dark. So you're not going to see it until these systems exist. You're not going to see in your daily reality that the light has the upper hand. We've already talked about the fact that after all the things, and they've done so many things to destroy the economy, and I mean crash it completely, to have a horrible situation with food shortages, power shortages, horrible, as horrible as they could make it. What have we seen? We've seen gas prices go up, and they're already coming down. That included the period of the fake war in Ukraine as well, and they were laughing here. So we're definitely, this is the light. This is the light in action. Basically, we're all like, oh, this is no good. We're discarding this. Yeah, this idea you had, nobody cares about. This is what we're doing. This is the light. So we are seeing the light get the upper hand. Now, to go back to your main question, which is, why is the dark staying? They're afraid. They're deathly afraid of going back to the 25th. These last people that are here, they're all going back to the 25th, and they're delaying as much as they can. They're terrified. This is how lost they are. They've forgotten that the 25th is home. And they have nothing, not only nothing to fear, there is no fear. Fear is not real, it's an idea. But that this is what they wanted. This is what they want. This will be like a balm for them. And they will be able to move on and join back in the matrix when they're ready. It's quite unfortunate. It's very sad. And in the meantime, they're running around like little children, terrified. Lorrayne, Thank you. You said that 90% of the dark team has left. What percentage has gone back to the 25th as opposed to going to other planets or their planet? Me. 40% has gone back to the 25th. 40% of the people on the side of the dark who have left have gone back to the 25th. We've discussed the fact that not only that is the easiest way to understand what they've done without feeling the guilt, without destroying themselves in the process, which is to recover from what they've done here and to realize that it's all the same at the end of the day. It might take thousands of years for the people that have moved on to other planets. So the ones that have moved on to the 25th, again, we said this before, it's not that they are lazy or they're cowards. It's that they have decided this is a better solution for them to just understand fully. Because the second that they are in the 25th, they'll understand fully. There is no time, it will be immediate. And move on and realize that it was what it was. We all participated. We decided to set up this game that was blah. That's all. And that's why we have millions of other games we can play, because there might be one that goes bad every once in a while. And so, yeah, many of them have decided to do this, just like we commend the ones that have decided to instead continue on planets inside the matrix. And we do wish them well, because it's not going to be easy for them to cope with this. So one thing, we are one. So one thing we can do, and we know that we're going to do that, is that from New Earth, knowing we will feel everyone, we will be supporting them. We'll be helping them to heal, because we have the ability to do this. This will be done in the respect of what these essences want to learn and want to experience. But we will support them, and they will feel that. Not even so much our forgiveness. There is really nothing to forgive. But our understanding is what they will feel. And because on New Earth, we will have the same consciousness, will be close to the consciousness of the 25th. Basically, we're going to provide to them a somewhat similar experience to what the portion that went back, that is coming back to the 25th, is going to have in that sense. Now, it doesn't mean that at a conscious level, they will necessarily understand what is going on. But at the essence level, they will know that what we're doing. They will know everything. The essence knows everything. And the essence is always in the 25th. But we'll support this in a way that will percolate and will help these people, for lack of a better word, get over things sooner. It might still take a long time, but we can help. And because we'll have this quote unquote shared past on this planet, many will accept our help. And the reason is that they will know that we know. We're not just blankly, like somebody who doesn't know you says, oh, it's fine. We know, we were there. And they will know that if we're okay with it and we, quote unquote, were the victims, then it's okay. It really is okay. We're moving on. This is the past already. There is no past. And we're trying to explain things. Lorrayne, we truly are all one, and we have all participated on both the dark and the light side. And I think that once that energy permeates the entire collective oneness, great healing will happen. Me, yes. Thank you so much for watching this video. And again, thank you for liking and commenting. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video. Take care.